Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And we have here today 2009 Porsche Cayenne GTS. This one has the V8, so it has the double exhaust. And what I'm gonna show you is how to replace your drive shaft. And I did one of these a couple weeks ago, but it had the V6 engine, so it was a little bit easier, but actually was kind of the same procedure. So I can prepare you to understand what you need is you're gonna have to drop this exhaust a little bit no matter what, because the drive shaft hits the exhaust support and it won't come out. And these here, the bolts that hold the front part of the drive shaft, they're right here. They are 18 millimeter here and 18 millimeter in the back, and you can use an 18 millimeter in the back to lock the nut. And then I use my electrical Milwaukee driver to get it out. So these are pretty easy to get. And then the rear have these internal 12 points, I believe. And the one that this thing uses is a 12 millimeter, I believe, 12M. Yeah. And in order to do this, you're gonna have to lock the drive shaft. And I usually, once I get these bolts out here, I just use a bigger screwdriver to get it through. I kind of lock it on one of these transmission supports. You can choose one of these that's kind of bigger, or kind of smaller here, but it's kind of, it's stronger to get into, and try to get the screwdriver all the way through so it kind of, it doesn't force just the edge, so you can actually break the aluminum. So then after you get that part, all these bolts in the back, you're gonna have this almost ready to go, because technically what happens with these drive shafts is this vehicle has around 100,000 miles. This middle support on the bearing gets destroyed, and I believe that's what it's actually called, drive shaft support. So the bearing is right here, but it has a rubber mount that's supposed to sit on this part, and it's destroyed. So when you're driving, this thing starts to go to kind of twist randomly, and it starts to hit the car left and right. Or yeah, left and right, because this is the closest space here, and you're gonna hear like a thumping noise when you push the gas. That's what mostly happens to these. And so once you take the front and the rear, you're gonna have this in the middle. There's a plate here right in the middle that the support sits on. This is the plate right here. And the plate has these 60 millimeter bolts, so it's these big ones. It's three and 3 here, 60 millimeter again, and 2 13s. And these 13s actually sit, the 13s actually they mount the bracket to the bearing support. And once you get that off, you're gonna have to drop the exhaust a little bit, and it's very easy. Try to lubricate these bolts and the whole exhaust system here with W40 or PB Blaster. We're using more PB Blaster because it seems to work better. And just lubricate the whole thing, because you're gonna have to open these. Don't release the nuts out completely. Just open the these brackets. And once you open these, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna start hitting the sleeve because the sleeve goes over this part, and that's how it holds the exhaust. So this is the driver's side. You're gonna have to hit here with a flat screwdriver and a little hammer to knock it back. So it's right here. Once you knock it out, it'll open right here. That's how it came down. The passenger side, though, it needs to go to the front. That's the way it worked, for me. And once you get that, I guess in order to drop the exhaust, you have two mounts. One mount has two 13mm bolts right here, and the other one has the 213 here. Remember, this is the V8, that's why it has this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the other, the V6, I remember only one exhaust. I believe so, but anyway, this is if it's only one, then you're just gonna have to find which mount it is, where it is. I believe on the other car I only had one mount here, and then it drops down. Once it drops down, as you can see, the actual drive shaft is actually ready to go. So I just need to pull it out, and I need to install the new one in, and I'll mount the camera when I'm installing the new one. Sorry that I didn't have the camera on time. I kind of forgot about it, but yeah, this so far is pretty easy, so you should be okay of doing this probably at home if you can do it, or in a place where the car is kind of lifted. So okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay, this is the replacement drive shaft. This is the old one, obviously broken. It's the new one. Always try to compare these in case there's a difference, so you don't end up installing something that doesn't go on the car. And of course, if there's a problem, you're gonna figure it out later in time, then maybe you can destroy something actually while trying to install the wrong part. So this is the part, and before you can install it, you need to grease up this place here, and you also need to grease up that same hole right there. Actually goes into this slot here, so this little pipe, so you need to grease this one too. So grab some grease, and we're going to grease up this one here. And then we're gonna grease the other one there. Again, grease in here, so this thing actually goes easily inside the little pipe there, or guide. Okay, we're done with this, and now we're gonna install this drive shaft back in the car.
No, que esa mierda no va a ir. No, como cosita de noche, aceite, pues. Hombre. Le quitas esa tapita. Ay, Ernesto, mira para atrás. No, papi, ese motor no va. No, normal, si esa tiene otra fría. Voy a cambiar el motor. Ay, ¿cómo vas a sacar? Entonces, para que sacaste eso, aparte. Vamos a cortar las bielas para tirarlo por el otro lado.
Está trancado.
Oh,
Por eso está la turbina.
Para la turbina.
Y que se madre trabajó por una pendejera. ¿Para cuánto tornillo?
Por eso decía, porque coño no.
Por eso si no me quedo quieto.
You can install the 16 and 16 not to start it here.
No escuché.
No, y eso todo quiere que le haga, no sé, que miren el G, que le haga toda vaina aquí.
No, mira, partió de los dos lados en la nuca. De este lado metió la 10 y de este le hizo el hueco. Dos huecos tiene.
Claro, primero salió ya y después listo, agarre ahí.
Así partí yo una vez.
Aquí va a estar chitón, se llaman ahorita.
¿Picamos o qué?
No, vamos a soltar los tres primeros, los tres que quedan y no se dio.
No, sorry, it's actually 18, not the 16.
Yo me la parí ese salud.
Pero si se va a poner severo, por lo menos que compre una GoPro. Hey, George, one GoPro, man.
You need buy one GoPro, papi, professional.
Claro.
Yeah, 14 and that's no worries.
Yo me quiero comprar ahorita uno para ponerme a grabar. Pero para montarla en Instagram, pues la gente pregunta mucho.
No, está bien, está bien. La vieja del frente de la casa que tiene un liqueo de...
Ah, pero él dijo que no. Bueno, piense que me piense que
The actual nut actually locks in here, so all you have to do is just tie the bolt here.
Le voy a esta casa, pero...
no, papá, pero es que eso tienes que demoler todo el concreto, hacer un hueco al lado de la pared con contención. Porque si te pones a solo hacer hueco, se te puede ir la pared por un lado. Y echarle petróleo, echarle concreto, echarle petróleo y volver a rellenar.
Hacer un burro, atrás del burro.
Eso hay que contratar máquinas y todo, por eso no es así. Hay que tener capital para hacer el trabajo.
And remember, there's a washer in front, so don't forget the washer. The washer goes here at the both sides.
No, pero... no, es que sí, pero te no coge la... los puntos. ¿Qué te pasa? No, sí se llevó. Ah, se me pegó.
Ahí. Ya, se dan de vuelta, ahora sí van a dar vuelta. Pues estaba pegado.
You can secure the rubber bolts here with a screwdriver right in that flat space area between the nut and the metal, so you can actually tie these bolts.
No, qué mentira. La china es así, huevo, eso no se lleva para la pared.
Mira, como ha visto que el sistema, si el sistema es para todo el mundo. No, usted los acomodó, mira la verdad. Ya tú vas a ver que ya vamos a salir peleando. Yo lo que pasa es que estoy aquí y está lleno de problemas.
Una mujer hace una ayuda.
Okay, and we're gonna go next to the rear side, the rear bolts. they go with these 2 bolts and kind of a clamp in the middle or a guide. And
Con la pala.
Oh, Dios. Y se me hubiese dado el negocio del Mercedes. Así mismo como estaba con la cadena estirada, yo le hubiera hecho una plática al carro.
Las cosas van a mal. Hay que ir por ahí, no se pierda fe.
Esperando que mi mamá le quita el ganado a mi cuerpo.
¿Guardaron algo por allá?
Oye, mi mamá le dijo que cuando le iba a ir para la plaza. No. A mí no me decía. A mí no me errores. Porque yo, hermano, ella me dice, un rolo es peor negro que no le esté prestando dinero a nadie. Digo,
Familia como que
sí. Es que la mi mamá no le va a decir nada.
familia es arrecho.
¿Desde cuándo tuviese yo un carro?
again, this is the 12 millimeter or 12 points in M12.
Voy a guardar. Pero no, tu pendejo. Estás bien, estás llorando. Eso sí, va a estar feliz.
Okay, in order to tie these, you're gonna need to lock this front part of the shaft, or you're gonna need to get a second person. But I managed to get a screwdriver between the rubber mount and this metal piece, and just kind of stick it a little bit in and stop it on one of these bolts, and it's gonna stop to the body. And this is what I'm gonna do. mount all of these. You can try, you need to do it about 2 or 3 times to make sure everything is tight, and then we're gonna go to the next step. Okay, after you do the front and rear mount bolts of the drive shaft, you need to install this support that actually hold this is the bracket that holds the support in the bearing here, and this cutout is obvious towards the, well, not obvious, but it's in the back actually. So you need to get the two 30 millimeters for the middle part here. And the second 30 millimeter here. Okay, and next thing is I'm gonna install these. These are 18 millimeter, and they hold the bracket to the body of the car. No, actually, sorry, they're 16 millimeters. So again, they're 16, not 18. Okay, and next thing is we need to tie the middle to 30 millimeters. Try to follow the old marks where this mount used to be. And be careful with these because you can strip them very easily if you're not careful. So here we go, the bracket is ready, and so we mounted the drive shaft in the back and the front. So we finished the front, the rear, the brackets, and the last thing that's left is getting the exhaust back, and I will show you how to do this in a second. Okay, in order to get this exhaust back, you need to lift up the exhaust here, and all you need to do is just mount the or install the mounts back here, and they have these 13mm bolts.
Guay, mira, no hay más tortillas. No lo saqué los dos.
Okay, and then you have the one in the rear over here. Okay, we're done with these. And the next thing is you need to, let me see, okay, so the next thing is, again, these need to go back, and make sure you follow this guide here. So this is where it stops. This sleeve, it's gonna have to stop right here. And I'm gonna use this hammer and a flat screwdriver. Okay, you see they just slide straight through. I'm lightly tapping it because I already installed the PV buster. It has to go specifically right there. Before you do this one, you need to do the second one. Kind of try to guide it a little bit so it goes in. And there we go. So again, this is the mark right here. This is where it's supposed to go, and that's where it's supposed to stop. And a little bit more. Okay. This is where it looks like it's supposed to go. Obviously there's a visible mark right here on this one too. So and we are right where we're supposed to be. And the last thing to finish this job is these 13mm bolts. I'm going to spray them with some pure moisture anyway, just so that I prevent them from rusting again. And here we go. And make sure in the back they fit inside the hole, because it has a square hole in the back, the head of the bolt. Okay, this is done, and the last one is here. And once you finish the job, again, try to check these just to see if they're tight. They look like they're tight. Okay, that's it. And the drive shaft, always check after yourself. These are the bolts. We only removed these bolts. Remember that the rubber mount came with the drive shaft, and so we installed these, the 13mm, the 16. Okay, try to move it a little bit with your hand and check it. And last thing is right here, so everything seems to be fine here. So yeah, so yeah, and always check the hangers on the exhaust, this one and the one here. Okay, everything is fine, so we're good to go. And I guess this is it. This is the whole job. Again, sorry I didn't show you the disassembly, but yeah, it's not that bad. I already showed you the assembly, so just try to follow my advice and guidance in the beginning. And again, this is a 2009 Porsche Cayenne GTS drive shaft replacement. Thanks very much. Please like my videos and please subscribe.